Hi everyone, I want to tell you a story about a time when I was nearly charged at the U.S. Navy border. I was 19 years old, and myself and two of my best friends, we wanted to go to a concert. And the concert was in Toronto, in Canada. And when you're 19, you can drink in Canada. It's awesome. So we decided to go to Canada to go to this concert to see this really small band that we all loved. I don't know if have you ever heard of Sunset Roughdown? Yeah, they're small. They're a small band, but they're really good. But we wanted to go to their concert, and we wanted to go to Canada. This was at the time when you had they changed the rules. You had to have a passport or an enhanced driver's license to get into Canada. There's three of us. Two of us had our passports. The third guy, Jake, he had a passport, but it was expired. He had an expired passport, so we were a little nervous. The concert was coming up soon enough. He wasn't going to be able to renew his passport before we went, so it's like, maybe they'll just let us go. But just in case we didn't buy tickets for the concert, we were going to buy them at the door, because in case we didn't get tickets. So the three of us, we took my brother's car for some reason. But we took my brother's car, three of us drove to Canada, got to the border, had no problem getting in. They didn't care about the expired passport. We got in fine. And we immediately got beer. And we knew the law was at 19 in Canada you can drink. We just didn't know that at 19 you can't drink in public. Or at any age, I guess. You can't drink in public. So we just got beer, we sat down on a street corner in a neighborhood and drank beer and ate pizza. And then we went to the concert, and we found out that it was sold out. We couldn't get it. But the bouncer was like, hey, you have to be 19 to get in. A lot of kids try to come in under 19, and they already bought their tickets, so they have to sell them. So hang out. We said, okay, we'll hang out, and when they kick people out, we're going to try and buy their tickets. So we're waiting. We had 2 beers left from the beers that we had bought earlier. And we're waiting for these people to come and get kicked out, try and buy the tickets. And we're like, oh, we'll just drink the beer while we're waiting for them. So we crack open the beer, and before we even take a sip, this lady goes, what in the fuck are you doing? And she takes the beer from us. This lady just with a backpack walking down the street. And we're like, what? We're just drinking beer. And she's like, you can't drink this outside. She was the manager of the bar that the show was at, and she took our beers and said, you guys need to leave, and you can't get in here even if you get tickets. You can't get in. So all our hopes were dashed. So we decided, 2 of us decided we went to the University of Toronto, student union, and we would just drink there. So we went there and had a couple of drinks. And then our one friend was going to drive us home, so he stayed. So Jake stayed. So we drove. We had a few drinks. We had a good time. It was fun. Some people. We must have looked tough in Canada because some kids came up to us and asked if we knew where they could get some chronic. We did not know. But we had a good time. So we had Jake drive us back because we had some drinks. So we drove back. We got to the U.S. border at like 2:30, 3 in the morning. And the Border Patrol guy was being a real jerk, as usual. He's asking my friend all the standard questions like, why are you in Canada today? What were you doing? And he's like, oh, we were going to a concert. The guy's like, where was the concert? I think he was expecting like a city answer. Like the concert was in Toronto. And my friend goes, the concert was in Mounties Palace Bar. And he asked him a few other questions. The guy, and my friend gets real nervous when he's talking to cops who's driving. And he starts answering questions incorrectly and doing really poorly. And I was sitting in the front seat looking at the Border Patrol officer, and I could tell looking at his face, I'm like, he thinks that Jake's hot. And I was like, and I'm a little drunk, and I kind of think Jake's hot. He just seems hot. So the cop's like, all right, give me the keys to the car. I need to check the trunk. And it was at that moment that I realized this is my brother's car, and there might be some weed in the trunk. I was like, oh no. And then to make matters worse, Jake tries to get the keys out of the car, but he hadn't put the car in park. He was just slowing down the brake. So he turned it off, and he's trying to get the keys out. It's just stuck and things are looking worse and worse. So I take over the conversation. I'm like, officer, or the border patrolman, however you prefer to be addressed. He's sober, we had a couple of drinks, but car's just on park, so I put the car in park and take the keys out and hand it to him.